Select the team you want to join. Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the left. This is the player card. Here you can see your player's strengths and weaknesses by looking at their archetype ratings.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the former MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons as they match up with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida as a moment ago. The Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, an early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Bosher to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
Mike, 180! 59, 59. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Now a handoff for Dre. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
From the 45 on second down, Fitzpatrick. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
We always
Welcome back to Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. It's the Dolphins in control of the football as we get back to the action in the first quarter. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
So out come the Falcons now. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Here's the second year back from Southern Miss, Ito Smith, looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now the former Oregon man, this is Kenyon Barner. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there and a first. First down for the Falcons.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The big Tank Carradine with a sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to fire one deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll try to run this one in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now Rosen. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass. Play, 2nd and 3. Again, it's Rosen. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From midfield now, here's Rosen. Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
In our game, well, it is the preseason. Remember that. No score thus far. As we...
Boy, rough crowd. No football for 6 months. Already we're skipping halftime. All right, let's get right back to the action. We're set for quarter 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it in a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Steps away, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open, so it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
They'll run it now with Barner. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's what I'm talking about.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They run again with Barner. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to face a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. From the 40 now on second down. Rosen. He was looking for his tight end, Mike Gesicki, and it's third down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Barner. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Miami as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Watch out, watch out. Tight end right, tight end right.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now a run for Barner. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Greystone, travel. Let's go.
Now Shaw. And that will be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making.
And look at this. It's a fake. But he will not make the first down marker. And that'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tyler Davison hauling it off the edge to sack him. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. 2 minutes left to go. This one surprisingly still scoreless. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. They run it with Balaj. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. On to stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Well, it took a while to get anything on the scoreboard, but we finally have our first points of the contest.
So the question now becomes, can they make this one stand up? In the way that these defenses have played, those 3 points almost look like 30, don't they?
Yeah, those 3 points look like a miracle right now. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So all eyes on the Falcons. Down on the scoreboard. At time, a huge factor. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away and it falls incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He completes this to Russell Gage. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll run, it's Barner. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things. If it didn't go well in your game, with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida. The players on your team earned XP. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game. You have an injury from the last game. See how long they'll be out. Once you're ready, go ahead and select Advance Week to get to your next game. Start your week by installing your game plan. You have grades for each position. Browse available players to improve your team. An offensive and defensive game plan has been pre-selected based on your weekly opponent tendencies. Change your game plan anytime. Each week you can, once you've made your game plan, choose to start training.
Hey, boys. Coming out of yesterday's practice, we all know it wasn't good enough. Today's practice, it's got to be great. Game day's coming fast. Let's go out here and let's be great, okay?
On the set. Set, hut! Okay, right. Set, hut! Ready, ready! Head go! Let's go now! 60 yards! Hood! Ready, ready! 15 lining, 15 lining. We good. 32. Right up.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the New York Jets. Brandon Goode and Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts. And a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their second-year quarterback, Sam Darnold, out of USC. At the start of last season, Darnold became the youngest quarterback in the Super Bowl era to start the first week of a season. But we definitely saw some inexperience, particularly at the start. He even threw a pick-6 on his first NFL throw, if you remember. But as the year developed, he developed, started to put up some respectable numbers. And with some marquee players now to complement his skills out wide, a lot of people are looking for a trend upwards for Sam Darnold this year. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And with all the moves the New York Jets made in the offseason, one of the more valuable pickups, Kelechi Osemele, a 2-time Pro Bowl guard who they got from the Raiders in a trade back in March. You know the Jets are going to try and run the football with Le'Veon Bell now. Osemele is one of the best moving guards in the NFL.
Darnold now to throw. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And Tavecchio pushed it. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on fourth down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The New York Set to take the field. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. But it'll be 2nd down. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Many people thought Keanu Neal was overdrafted by Atlanta, but they saw his talents and knew that he would fit their scheme perfectly. A hybrid player, can play deep in the secondary as a safety, can drop down into the box and also make a lot of tackles, and at times can stay on the field and serve a linebacker role as well.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons grab it.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Going to throw deep for the end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. We're scoreless after 1. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Here's Brissett. And it's complete. Hooper. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. From 8 yards out. And the Falcons are in for 6.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Coming to you, coming to you.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. That'll bring up 2nd down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they'd left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team? That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
He's going to let this one go into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Darnold. Out right here to Herndon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Check, 59.
Here we go.
Darnold on 1st down, and that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
To throw again on 2nd down, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Darnold. And he's got a moonwalk. And he coughed it up. And the Falcons grab it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll throw now on the final play. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is taken at the 3. And shouting through the tackle. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Got some room at the 30. 22 yards there, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
On the ready.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On the carry, it's Olsen. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. First throw off the bench for the veteran Shaw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gray. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Here's Matt Bosher now. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. So that'll back him up 5. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. A big rush, and it's blocked. Jets come after him, and they get him. And they end up with a football at the 2-yard line. So much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
They'll run. This is Powell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 2 straight shots on the ground, now on. Third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Catanzaro's kick is good. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams. As we get set for the 4th quarter. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Set, ready? 10-2 start.
Number 53, Mike 53. Let's go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Now Olesen. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaken up on the play. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. Here's Olesen, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Down. 10 Lobo.
53. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Steve McClendon, credit him for the sack.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a handoff here to his running back. There he goes inside the 30. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tyler Davison in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively, nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Simeon. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They snap it to Simeon. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis. This is the development trait. This is the abilities tab. Here you can see what ability.